everyone may be seated. Members of the jury, we've been informed that you've reached verdicts. And if you have those, if you could hand those to the bailiff, please. All right, I ask that the clerk read the verdicts into the record.
State of Wisconsin versus Matthew Beyer, case number 20-CF-519. We, the jury, find the defendant, Matthew W. Beyer, guilty of first-degree intentional homicide as it relates to Danielle Beyer, as charged in count 1 of the information in Outagamie County, Wisconsin, signed by juror foreperson 6314. State of Wisconsin versus Matthew W. Beyer, case number 20-CF-519. We, the jury, find the defendant, Matthew W. Beyer, guilty of first-degree intentional homicide as it relates to William Beyer, as charged in count 2 of the information in Outagamie County, Wisconsin, signed by juror foreperson 6314.
All right, at this time, members of the jury, we're going to have the clerk hold the jury. What's going to happen is the clerk will call out a jury number, and you should all have your slip of paper with your numbers. When your number is called, if you could stand, and she's going to ask you 2 questions. The first one will be, you've heard a reading of the verdicts. Are these the verdicts of the jury? And you answer that yes or no. And then, are these your verdicts? And you answer that yes or no. And after you answer both questions, you can be seated, and she'll hold the next juror. Clerk, please hold the jury.
Juror number 7196. You have heard the reading of the verdicts. Are these the verdicts of the jury?
Yes.
Are these your verdicts?
Yes.
Please have a seat. Juror number 7999. You have heard the reading of the verdicts. Are these the verdicts of the jury?
Yes.
Are these your verdicts?
Yes.
Please have a seat. Juror number 8081. You have heard the reading of the verdicts. Are these the verdicts of the jury?
Yes.
Are these your verdicts?
Yes.
Please have a seat. Juror number 8095. You have heard the reading of the verdicts. Are these the verdicts of the jury?
Yes.
Are these your verdicts?
Yes.
Please have a seat. Juror number 7960. You have heard the reading of the verdicts. Are these the verdicts of the jury?
Yes.
Are these your verdicts?
Yes.
Please have a seat. Juror number 6314. You have heard the reading of the verdicts. Are these the verdicts of the jury?
Yes.
Are these your verdicts?
Yes.
Please have a seat. Juror number 476. You have heard the reading of the verdicts. Are these the verdicts of the jury?
Yes.
Are these your verdicts?
Yes.
Please have a seat. Juror number 6039. You have heard the reading of the verdicts. Are these the verdicts of the jury?
Yes.
Are these your verdicts?
Yes.
Please have a seat. Juror number 2038. You have heard the reading of the verdicts. Are these the verdicts of the jury?
Yes.
Are these your verdicts?
Yes.
Please have a seat. Juror number 7896. You have heard the reading of the verdicts. Are these the verdicts of the jury?
Yes.
Are these your verdicts?
Yes.
Please have a seat. Juror number 7350. You have heard the reading of the verdicts. Are these the verdicts of the jury?
Yes.
Are these your verdicts?
Yes.
Please have a seat. And juror number 7884. You have heard the reading of the verdicts. Are these the verdicts of the jury?
Yes.
Are these your verdicts?
Yes.
Please have a seat.
Does the state have any questions regarding the polling of the juries?
No.
Defense?
No.
Any reason they can't be excused?
No. No.
Okay, so members of the jury, your service in this case is completed. What that means is you're going to be free to go momentarily. Your role in this case is over, so all the rules or limitations that we've placed on you no longer are in play. You're free to discuss this case with whomever you want to whatever extent you want to. There's no rules saying that you have to, and there's nothing saying that you can't. If you decide to talk about this case, the one thing I would just have you keep in mind is that whatever you say to whomever you say it, you'd be comfortable saying it here in a courtroom if you were sworn in under oath. Because that sometimes happens. So if you decide to talk about it, to whatever degree that you talk about it, just be of the mindset that if someday you were asked under oath what it was that you said and you know how you said it, who you said it to, that you'd be comfortable doing it that way. I'd also encourage you to keep in mind the privacy or the respect for each other when you're deliberating. So those conversations are, you know, they're personal and private, and none of us are allowed to know what you talked about unless one or more of you share what you talked about. On behalf of the parties, I really want to thank you for taking almost 2 weeks of your lives and serving as jurors. Seems like a long time ago when we were in that big room picking the jury. I think each of you really served your role well. I appreciate how you were paying attention, taking notes, asking questions, and participating as jurors. So thank you. If you want to know what's going to happen, we're going to excuse you, which is going to be the next thing. And then probably around 3 o'clock, I think we're going to do the sentencing. Is that correct?
Yes, we just need a few minutes to collect and then we will.
And same for the defense?
I agree.
Do you need more time than 3 o'clock?
We do not.
Okay, so at 3 o'clock, we'll proceed with sentencing. You're not needed for any of that. You're invited to, you have a lot invested into this case, so if you want to watch that part of the case, you definitely can. And I wouldn't have any problem if you want to sit in the jury box because it's pretty full out there, and that way nobody's going to bother you either. So you can decide that. Otherwise, you're going to be free to leave when you go back to the jury room. I will have a couple minutes of work in here before we adjourn after we excuse you. If any of you want to talk with me, you have questions, or you want to discuss something, I'll come back into the jury room between now and 3 o'clock, if that's what you want. If not, thanks again for your service, and we appreciate it. The jury's excused.